What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing all right today. 6/20/2022, kind of early. Just really waking up, so bear with me here. Debating on whether or not I want to promote my Release Cannabis Prisoners brand today, product. I don't have my inventory as lined up as I would like it. If my promotion and product is successful as I'd like it to be, I definitely don't have my inventory in place the way I would like for it to be. So kind of going back and forth with that right now. But obviously that's not what this is about. Um, I feel like that's not as important as this issue. This is something that's been bothering me um, for years now, since the day I first had a conversation with this man and, about his situation. I have, as an inmate in Arkansas Department of Corrections, I spent 10 months there, served currently on parole or a 6-year prison sentence for possession of cannabis. While incarcerated, I ran across an older gentleman, black gentleman, um, serving a life sentence for on a murder charge that supposedly happened. The murder occurred during a robbery. In facts of the case that I've looked into, apparently that's what happened. However, this man has, claimed and maintained his position of innocence since over 50 years now. And, you know, the thing that messed me up the most was seeing him, basically tear up, eyes water, and, hearing his voice shake and explaining how, he, over the years, he's cried and prayed to God so much. And, he stated he wondered if God loves him because he'd been in there crying and praying all these years, but he's still there. Um, Now, while in prison, I met several murderers, several people convicted of murder, and there was a just commonality between all all of those individuals. Nobody else in there convicted of murder ever claimed innocence that I met. Nobody. Whether they had been there 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. The murderers didn't claim innocence. Some had a mentality that, yeah, I did it. And in the same situation, I'd do it again. You know, some murderers were like, yeah, I was on the wrong path, living the life, and now I'm dealing with the consequences. But you still young, you're gonna have another opportunity to make better decisions. It's not, you don't want this. You know, they influence. I mean, emphasize the importance of making positive choices. You know, they were truly remorseful for their actions. And, they didn't really. You have those that just didn't really want to talk about it. They just wanted to mind their business, but they say, yeah, I did whatever, but don't really want to talk about it either way. get, do the time in peace, move on. But as the only person that I met that claimed innocence. And while going to the chow hall one day, I actually overheard an officer, CO, correctional officer, say something about him after, he was walking ahead of me going to the chow hall. And I overheard an officer comment, you know how everybody says they're innocent. And I'm thinking to myself, ain't nobody in here claiming that they innocent. Like, we all did what we did. You feel me? Um, you don't really meet a lot of people claiming that they're innocent. You meet a few, just trying to beat chase cases, charges. Maybe they are guilty of something, but not the charge that they've been convicted of. So maybe they're trying to get a fair sentence or charge or something. You have a lot of people trying to fight cases that way, but very few people say I'm completely innocent. Maybe somebody was in a situation where they were charged with first degree murder, but it maybe should have been manslaughter or second or third degree or something like that, right? But um as far as people claiming total innocence, no, it doesn't really happen. But back to the story, I was headed to the chow hall. He was walking in front of me, and the CO was like, "You know how most people in here um, say that they're innocent," and he was talking to another CO. He was like, "That man right there really is," and that really, really, really struck me, really touched me because it's like, why? If there are some people that really know that he's innocent, why is an innocent man still in prison? Um, DNA evidence um, indicates that Arkansas may have actually killed an innocent man here not too long ago. Um, and I mean, when you've imprisoned and stolen years and years and years of someone's life, to accept responsibility for your error, it would cost the state maybe some millions, I'm sure. I saw or the state of Arkansas has a pretty healthy surplus. So, um, if it's money you worried about coughing up that you owe the man, you got money. You can pay him what he's owed. Not really, because no amount of money, and you can't put a dollar amount on the time that you've stolen away from an individual's life. You can't really put a dollar on time, the missed time spent with kids and grandkids and mom, parents, brothers and sisters. You can't, it's not a dollar value, the little $1 billion surplus that the state of Arkansas has. You can give them all of it, and it's still not enough. Of course, we know that he won't ever reach anything close to that. But, um, you know, I understand that may be an issue, not wanting to pay people that have been wrongly convicted. That may be one reason why you overlook them, but nah, bro. Something needs to be done. Um, something needs to be done. And another, like I say, this has been on my mind for a while, but another reason why, at this point in time, I'm speaking on this is because even if he was guilty, which, is hard for me to perceive at this point. But even if he was, I've seen people convicted of more serious crimes have their sentence reduced here recently. Um, but here he is still in prison. And that's frustrating to me because, like I said, I truly believe that this man is completely innocent. So the fact that he spent a second in prison is unjust. The fact that he's been there since July 14th, 1971. That's 51 years. Be 51 years next month. Life sentence. Take a good look at this picture, this face. I don't know if he's innocent or not. Like I said, I do believe he is. That's the account he gave to me from my experiences talking to other individuals, incarcerated individuals. And, that conversation I overheard on the way to the child hall, I consider myself to be a good judge of character and people. And just off what I know, I do believe that this man is innocent. However, let's say that he's not innocent. Let's say he really did commit this crime. He's been in prison for 51 years, serving a life sentence. Let's go look at his history while in prison. You see any risk score level minimum? Not really a threat. He's not really been a problem while in prison. Major guilty disciplinary violations? None. No, nothing. Hasn't caused any trouble in prison since he's been there. Nothing. You know, been a model inmate, whether he was a model citizen, whether he committed this crime or not, he's been a model inmate and has been so for 51 years. Let's take a look at this petition. You haven't, I'm sure you aren't aware of this. But now that you are, please go to change.org and sign this petition. This is a petition started by Angela Vaughn. I guess this is one of his family members. As you see here, this is him, his inmate clothing. Family came to visit. When I spoke with him, he mentioned that most of his family was in Illinois. He doesn't really have a lot of family in Arkansas. So that's another reason why it was easy for the system to, just screw him over, do whatever it felt like doing with him in his life. Says he was beaten by the North Little Rock police and forced into a verbal and written confession. He was later convicted by an all-white jury. It says my mother and me have written multiple news agencies. I don't know. I think I may need to try to contact the Last Prisoner Project. And no, not the Last Prisoner Project, but the Innocence Project. Need to try to contact the Innocence Project and see if they can get more information on the evidence surrounding this case and something to get this man the legal representation that he needs to fight this. But again, like I said, let's say that he's not innocent, right? Let's say that he did commit a crime, a murder 50 years ago. Governor Hutchinson, this is your official website. You see, you got a picture of all of them sitting around the table, smiling. Look at them. Got the governor right here in his pen doing his political stuff. Um, let's go down here to this is for this month. This most recent. Hold on. No, this was for May. This is May 4th, 2022. These are the people that he pardoned and reduced sentences for in May. Governor Hutchinson intends to grant a commutation of sentence to the following people: James T. Carmichael, ADC number 089424, capital murder, why felony. The governor has given notice of his intent to commute the sentence of James T. Carmichael, who was convicted in Pulaski County in 1987 for the above offense, from life without parole in the Department of Correction to 35 years. The prosecuting attorney has raised objections to the applicant's request. Okay, so a man convicted of capital murder what was James Strother convicted of? Murder first degree. I believe capital murder is, last time I checked, capital murder was more severe, more serious than murder first degree. Not much, but it is. But yet, a man convicted of capital murder has had his sentence reduced or commuted from life without parole to 35 years. James Struthers has been convicted of, possibly wrongly convicted of murder first degree, and he's been in Arkansas Department of Corrections for 50 years. Has been a model inmate the whole time. You can't find any disciplinaries that he's been written up for. Hasn't given the correctional officers, the staff, any problem. Hasn't had any problems with other inmates. Just a model inmate for 50 years. But he doesn't deserve to have his sentence reduced. But he does. I'm not, against. I know that people change. I know, I believe in second chances, especially for non-violent crimes and victimless crimes. I, definitely believe in second chances for things of that nature. Murders, when you take a life, you can't bring that life back. So, when somebody is convicted of murder and have to do a life sentence, it sucks, but you can't bring back that individual's life. So, you don't have a second chance to bring them back. So, if you don't get a second chance, I can see the justification in that. However, that's not for me to judge. What I'm judging here and comparing here is the fact that a man convicted of capital murder has had his sentence reduced to 35 years. But a man convicted, possibly wrongly convicted, of first-degree murder has been in prison for 50 years. And like, why hasn't his sentence been reduced? What did this inmate do to deserve his time reduced that this inmate hasn't done? Because, it's only so much you can do to prove yourself and your rehabilitation while incarcerated. So what has he done that Mr. Struthers hasn't done? And then here in the same month, Brian E. Dickinson, murder first degree, 1999. He, um, the governor has given notice of his intent to commute the sentence of Brian E. Dickinson, who was convicted in Fulton County in 2000 for the above offense, from 480 months in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. How many? What's that? 40 years? Yeah, because 10 years would be 120 months. So, yeah, that'll be 480 months is like 40 years. So, Governor reduced Brian E. Dickinson's time from 480 months or 40 years to making him immediately parole eligible. Again, people change. I believe individuals should have a second chance. It's like murder cases are, I don't know. You murder my family, and I don't, I probably wouldn't want you to be free. I don't, um, I don't know, but that's not the debate. I'm sure other people feel, pretty similar to how I do. I'm pretty sure others share those feelings. Like if you kill one of their family members, they probably want to kill you, or let the system kill you. They probably don't want to see you free. But again, these people all convicted of murder. This man was convicted of a more serious murder, capital murder. And the governor has commuted their sentences. He's, commuted their sentences. One man will for sure, well, they will both be paroled one day, possibly. However, Mr. Strother is still serving a life sentence. And let's go back, because this is for the month of May, but I believe in the month of June, something similar occurred. Here you see June 7th, 2022. Let's look at the pardons. I don't think it was under the pardons, I believe. Let's go down to the commutations, time cuts. Governor Hutchinson intends to grant a commutation of sentence to the following person. Jesse L. Buchanan, capital murder. Why felony? 1992. The governor has given notice of his intent to commute the sentence of Jesse L. Buchanan, who was convicted in Crittenden County in 1992 for the above offense, from life without parole in the Department of Correction to 35 years. There are no law enforcement objections to the application. So I'm just gonna wrap it up, because I can't explain it. Maybe somebody else can explain it to me, help me really see something that I'm not seeing. Show me the justice, in what's going on here, because I can't I can't find the words. I can't comprehend it. Why these people convicted of more serious crimes or similar crimes can have their sentence reduced and be parole eligible, but Mr. Struthers can't. Let's say if they are, let's just say that they are all guilty of said crimes. What have they done to prove their rehabilitation that Mr. Struthers hasn't done? Because Mr. Struthers has been a model inmate for 50 years. What have they done to deserve a reduction in sentence that Mr. Struthers hasn't done? Please, please, somebody help me understand. I really want to understand because, as I've said, I believe Mr. Struthers is innocent. So I don't believe that he should have ever spent a day in jail. But the fact that he's spent more time in prison and, you can reduce his sentence to time served a day and he will have spent more time in prison than anybody that I've covered here today, any other person I've covered here today convicted of similar or more serious offenses. He served more time than them honorably. There's no honorable way to do time, but he has been a model inmate. Yet they get their time reduced and he's still in prison. Just help me make it make sense. And if it doesn't make sense to you like it doesn't make sense to me, then please go to change.org and sign this petition and call the Arkansas Parole Board and Governor Asa Hutchinson and tell them, commute this man's sentence. Let him go. Send him home to his family like you've done for others. And if he's innocent, send him home with the millions that you owe him, because it's not a dollar amount that you can put on 50 years that you've stolen from an innocent man's life. I didn't expect it to be this long. And obviously this is something that's bothering and troubling me. Juneteenth is today. That's why I was thinking about releasing or starting to begin to promote my product. Juneteenth is recently been recognized as a holiday that recognizes or celebrates the end of slavery in America, end of that other form of slavery. But slavery didn't end. It took on a new form. And the criminal justice system is the part of the new form of slavery, a big part of the new form of slavery and mass incarceration. And most people know, but if you don't, do some research. Free James Struthers. Free James Struthers. Peace.